Wild game is just a huge part of our life currently. We haven't bought meat in about 10 years now from a supermarket. There's been the rare occasion where, you know, people come over or whatever's happening, you're forced to. Other than that, I've essentially cut off our family's ties to the commercial food industry, and that's all we eat. So as far as getting out and hunting, and when you take the steps to actually do that, it's about having variety. You can't just eat the same thing all the time. And I grew up as just a deer hunter, and once we kind of made that move to live a healthier lifestyle and just get more involved into where our food comes from, having accessibility to a variety of wild game is key. Living here in New England, we're pretty fortunate between all the different bird species and big game species and small game species. I don't know how much I spend on it, but I imagine it's significantly less, because I walk to the supermarket and I am completely shocked at the prices on some of the meat that I won't even eat, never mind pay that price for. I honestly don't know where I would be without the woods. I grew up in the woods of Maine, so you didn't have anything. We would take a gun and go out and play in the woods and uprooted trees and build tree forts as a kid. I honestly don't know anything different. Right now I live in southern New England. It's pretty urban. There's just a lot of people, so you don't have the big giant woods that you did, so it's just not endless, but it's still there. So I'm still able to go out and live all the same lifestyle as I was, and I just don't know where I would be without it. I honestly, I don't even think I could put into words what the amount of weight that the just being out in the wild and hunting and just nature watching in general. I can't even describe it, to be honest. I don't know if I can put that into words. A lot of people look at me funny when I tell them, and I work with a lot of very talented hunters and accomplished hunters in all walks of life, and they always look at me funny when they ask what I shot for turkeys, and I tell them flat out, you know, I just shot 3 jakes this year and a couple of toms, and they always stop in motion at shooting jakes. And to me, you know, I love turkey hunting, but until I have a sufficient amount of meat to feed my family for the entire year, I could care less what that bird is, if it's a jake or if it's a record tom. Quite honestly, I've probably shot a half a dozen or more record book toms, and you'll never see an entry in there. That's not why I do it. I have very few fans or beards or spurs. I only keep the memorable ones. I only keep the memorable ones. All the rest of them, they just end up getting tossed. I don't care if it's a jake or a tom. I just want to eat it. The wild turkey is such a success story. They are so abundant on the landscape in virtually every corner of this country that you go to. So no matter where you go, you can find them, and you don't have to be an expert. Literally, they're one of the dumbest animals on the planet. I don't care what anyone tells you, they're just so dumb that they actually seem smart sometimes. So literally, you don't have to be an expert caller. You can go out and just make holy racket on a call, and they're gonna come. My daughter literally my 3-year-old daughter stuck her head out of the blind yesterday and literally went, gobble, 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 to the turkeys, and they answered her, and we killed 2 turkeys a couple minutes later. So it's very rewarding, and you basically, in a short period of time, you'd never have a way to connect with nature that closely, because you are speaking to one single bird, and that one single bird is talking back to you, and that is just as tight as it gets. So in order to get the full experience of, you know, your connection with nature and that food source, it just doesn't get any tighter than essentially with a wild turkey.